Greetings, greetings, hello dear hearts. Happy warm-up Sunday. It's Miss D here. And this warm-up Sunday, Miss D is on chilling, using art as therapy. I'm just gonna prepare the desk a little bit as we get ready to do a little art therapy. Some of the things that are on the desk is this little journal. Saw it in the dollar store, thought about my little granddaughter. So I jazz it up a little bit before I give it to my granddaughter Jasmine. Put that over to the side. Hopefully I'll get to flowing and work on that a little bit today. Couple things on the desk for some ideas I want to work with later. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. It's warm-up Sunday with Miss D. Just going to do a little art therapy with you as we warm up. Cleaning the desk. Looking at some things that's on the desk. This is a teeny tiny, I don't even want to call it a journal, a pamphlet I was playing with, just learning a few techniques. She looks a little spooky on there, but there she is. Playing with images. Just some things I do, playing in journals during the week. Just might play in this one a little bit later. I'm going to take today as a mental health day and do a whole lot of just relaxing, playing in my arts and crafts. Got a lot on my mind, and I need a good art therapy day. Hey Cheryl, how are you? It's good to see you. I'm just getting started here, you know, cleaning off the desk, getting ready to warm up. Got a lot of things I want to do a little bit later. I got my good old Bible here. I do want to look in that just a little bit before I warm up. I said I was using today as a mental health day, and there's no better way to get that mental health straight than look in your Bible a little bit. Being Sunday, our day usually set aside for worship, I don't think there's a better way to get yourself together than take a little peek. Oh, how is your grandson? Yeah, we've been working on our journals around here. I'm actually loving my journal. The one that we all created together. Clown Baby and Poetic Justice one day was working with me on their journals. That was fun. One of my granddaughters, Diva, I created her a baby journal and she was journaling. That was fun. All right. This is what we're going to work on a little bit later. That's hopefully going to make some paper mache and work on a project that I started a while ago. Just getting the desk a little cleaned up to mess it up. All right, I actually was doing a little Bible searching and looking earlier today, and I just want to go back and look at that again as I start to do my art as therapy, as I find the Bible very therapeutic and very healthy for me and my mental health, as I'm puzzling through, trying to make decisions and choices. What I found this morning was in 1 John that I really liked. Well, I like it all. But it was test all teachings. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just read this. Just chapter 4 to chapter 3. Just for my soul and my spirit, as this warm-up is a mental health spiritual warm-up for me. It says, test all teachings. That's 1 John 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus is come in flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. This morning when I was doing my morning meditation, that's where my Bible took me. And it was so timely, is so timely for me as I'm having to make a lot of decisions and just looking at the things that are going on in the world and trying to make sense of what all looks evil to Miss D. And so we do know that there's a spiritual war going on, and that we have to have our eyes and ears open and stay alert if we're not going to get caught up in the things of the evil one. So I'm not preaching. I just use my Bible warm-up reading as a way to spiritually open up and start flowing. And I'm using the art as also my therapeutic warm-up, therapeutic meditation. And today, I'm going to be very therapeutic. I started a project some time ago that I have not worked on. You remember my ankh that I was making for my wall for the bedroom? It is still here naked. So I'm going to decoupage some paper onto it and start the process of making that a wall plaque. Dropped the fork in here earlier. So I said decoupage, but I'm going to actually paper mache it first. So I started with some flour and water. Oh wow, you've heard this scripture 2 times in 3 days? Then that means God is trying to tell us something. God is trying to tell you something. Because that's exactly where he led me this morning. And I'm meditating on it all day as my therapy and try to glean what he is wanting us to learn from it. Now, I think this is really too soupy, so I got a little extra flour here. I'm just going to sprinkle that in. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world right now. And so we do need to gird ourselves up with the holy words to help us stay strong. I have not made paper mache in so very long. I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but I'm going to give it a good old try. I don't want it too thick, but I don't want it too thin either. Well, I got to tell you, the craft room is feeling pretty good. I spent a lot of time this week, as I normally do when I got a lot on my mind, kind of cleaning and rearranging things, and it feels good what I've done in here. That's always good for a good therapeutic session, to have a space that feels good. Still have some lumps in here. I'm just going to try to work those out. Have you made paper mache before, Cheryl? You got a good recipe? I'm actually thinking of add just a pinch of glue, a little PVA in there. This could be a messy something, so I'm going to definitely cover the top of the desk. Just add a little PVA. I want to make sure this is PVA and not my decoupage. Excuse me, my art glitter. Make sure it's not that. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's been a while since I've made any. This still looks a little runny. Add a little more flour to that. Play it by feel. I'm gonna get a little couple pieces of paper to lay on the desk so that I don't make a mess. Forgive me, I'll be right back. I'm still in the craft room. I'm just out of the camera line of sight. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do for the live today, and as I was doing the little cleaning, I saw that unk over in the corner. I said, that's what I need to be doing. So let's give that a good old whirl. I did want to mention, as we are using this time as our art therapy time, I did work on and complete my vision board, and I don't think I've shown it to you all. I might have shown it on one of the other channels, but here's my completed vision board. We're all making vision boards for Minology, as having a vision board will help pull your images to you. And mine is very, almost basic. I think it's pretty with the added of the decoupaged on napkins around the edges. And I have lots of kind of spiritual affirmations on it. Like this one says, I keep my eyes on God. I depend on the Most High only. I am a willing vessel for God. So these are affirmations that really help me stay rooted in knowing that in these times that we're living with, God is here. He's in control. He has me. And my favorite is, fear is not of God. As long as we know that, we can be strong and bold and continue to move through. Also, the images on here are things that I am hoping to acquire and to have my surrounding. The mountains and the water represent the views I want to have. My little wooden cabin, as you probably heard me mention, I want to buy about 5 to 10 acres of land and do a family compound. And I want a small house. I was going to say a tiny house, but a small cabin house that I want to put on that property. I definitely want an RV to do some traveling through the country. And depending on what happens in the next few weeks, I may need an RV to live in, as my job is that I work other than my private business is making us make a choice of either be fired or, take the vaccine. And I'm not quite ready to take the vaccine, so I may be fired. And my backup plan, other than the Holy Father taking care of me, is to maybe buy an RV and live tiny. Live in the RV until I can get my land and grow my crops. This represents the crops I want to grow on the homestead compound. And money needed to do all those kind of things. And, okay, Miss D does love a Mustang. So, a Mustang on the property wouldn't be bad. So this is Miss D's vision board. And I did say for our challenge that'll end on September 24th that I wanted everybody to create one. Cheryl, I want you to show me your vision board on my Facebook page. I left a link on the last video. I went back in and I put the link to my Facebook page so you could put it there. But if you look up Miss D Do It Yourself TV on Facebook, you'll find me. And if you leave it there, I'll be able to see it. So that's Miss D Do It Yourself DTV on Facebook. You'll be able to leave a picture there. And I did leave a link on the last video from last Sunday. Can I send you a link through Messenger? I'll do my best. Okay? So that's what my vision board's looking like. I'm dying to see everybody else's. And I keep mine hanging up where I can see it and begin the process of attracting those things to me. Oh, that's starting to look good. So I'm going to put a little paper down so I don't make too big of a mess. And I'm going to just use some paper that came in the mail as the strips for the to glue that on. Okay, I didn't cut the middle of the unk out yet, as I wanted to kind of wait till I did the decoupage process. I think it'll be stronger that way. So this is a lot bigger than the space I have on the desk. So I'll be shifting it around. Now this is a little, and maybe just a drop more flour. Messy project, so you might want to wear gloves. Me, I don't mind getting messy. I think that's very therapeutic to put get your hands in. It's one of the reasons I chose this form of art today. Okay, Cheryl, great. I definitely want to see it. Did you enjoy the process of making it? That's right, Cheryl. Yes, we do. At all times. The best thing is that, as that scripture was alluding to, is just to be cautious and, go to Him in everything and don't have fear. Try to live without fear, which is kind of hard at these days and times. So much is going on and you don't know what's what about much. So what I want to do is rip some little strips. And I'm actually going to carve this after I do it. So I'm going to decoupage, paper mache this whole thing and then do the carving. This is just flyer pages that comes in the mail, junk mail. It's one way to get rid of them. They seem to accumulate so fast. Oh, great, great. Yeah, vision boards are great things to have up. What I do know is that our subconscious picks up those images, and we're able to attract those things that we desire into our world, to us. So it's a great something to have up. I hope those aren't too little. Let's start with that and see how we go. So all I really want to do is really get messy here and just brush these onto the ink. Let's see what brush we want to use for that. Let's try this one. Might go for a little bit bigger one after a moment. So I'm just going to lay them in. Oh, that's thick. And for this part, yeah, I may have made that a little thick. I'm going to lay it on. I have these folded, some of them. I'm just going to leave them on as thick as they are. I'm going to fold over the edge on the top of this. It's a little funky angle with me sitting down. Oh, that'd be nice if he does. To write down our visions so that we can tie the vision board into that scripture. Nice. Do you know where that scripture is, Cheryl? Which book? Okay, I just recognized that folding them was not a good idea. It's making it hard to unfold it as I'm laying these on, so the next load I won't fold. So I don't want too many gaps. It's a messy process, but I am starting to relax already. There we go. The flour and water mixture feels good on my hands. Okay, that's great, thank you. The mixture is a little thicker than I want, so I'm gonna, after I get these on, I'm gonna thin it out just a little bit. It's completing a project that I started and had left is therapeutic, to be able to go back, just like Cheryl went back and completed a vision board that she had started a while. That's very therapeutic to actually complete something that you started. It creates a positive energy and a confidence that you can complete what you start. And this, I can't wait till it's finished, because I had decorated my room, and this was going to be one of the pieces that was going to be on the wall. So I'm hoping it comes out like I envision it, and hang it in the room. So if I get a little quiet, that means I'm into it. Very nice feeling. And I'm discovering as I go what I need to be doing. One thing I should have thought about was my space. That little ankh handle kind of is in the way, but that's okay. So I'm just wrapping around so I can get a smooth edge on the top. I'll do some molding as it dries. Just looking to see what I could set up under it to keep the edge up a little bit. Let's try this. Let's try. Yeah, that's a little thick. It takes a moment to get it on. After I get around the edge here, it'll be a lot easier and faster. But I don't mind. So I may start this in the live with you and may end up having to finish on my own. I don't want to, you know, take up too much time, but I want to get a layer on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make them long like this. I know a lot of people may not like a video that is live, that is doing a process that takes this much time and attention. But if we're using it for therapy, it's a good way to just relax your mind and just focus on this. It's a good way to just release all the energies that float around. I can tell you that I am totally into it and feeling very good. Actually thinking about what the finished product will look like, enjoying the feel on my hand. Just the smoothing sensation feels good. I'm just laying some in the center, the short pieces, and we'll put another layer over those in a moment. When I carve this, having this layer on here should make it smooth. At one point I was thinking of not carving the center out, but then I don't know if we would be able to recognize that as an ankh, but I was thinking of putting a mirror there. and still playing with that idea. So that's why I chose to go ahead and do this process. And then I'll make that decision whether I'm going to carve it or put the mirror. Thanks, Cheryl. Definitely relaxing. I feel real good in this process. And then to come out with a piece of art is all the better. So you can choose to use this newspaper or any scraps that you have laying around. If you have a scrap bag, you can use those scraps instead of newspaper. I made some little ones. I may use the scraps from my scrap bag on those. So yeah. Oops. I just seen I spilled some down. Crap, I'm gonna get another cleaning. Yeah, I'm just smoothing it back over the edges. Flipping it over the edge and just smoothing it, because I will make sure it stays down. As I feel it drying a little bit, I could tighten it up and smooth the edges. So what I discovered is I like the longer pieces more. So I'm going to use these up in the middle, and then the next ones I'll tear them longer. You notice I'm not dipping all of them. I have so much on the board until I'm just being sure to layer those, and then I'll smooth some of the excess that's on the board over it. I want to be sure to lap over each ones. And just pick up some of the excess and lay it over it. It's looking good. You could take your jewelry off when you're doing this if you're particular, but it's rare that I take my jewelry off for anything, so I'll just clean it when I'm washing my hands. We're working our way through. That's nice. Fill in it. Just brushing this out to get it smooth. I'll probably do some sanding before I paint anyway. But some texture is good in my world. Filling in the spaces. Don't want to leave anything uncovered. That's why for me, playing with your fingers is nice, because you can get right into the little grooves and crevices. Even though I do brush some, and that's just for smoothness. Using the short pieces in the middle for filler. I want to use all this batch, but I will rip bigger for the rest of it. And so the paper mache recipe is really like a glue. It's flour, water, and as you saw, I added just a little bit of glue because that flour and water paste becomes like a glue. I'm either going to cover it up with paint or make a faux leather. I'm still trying to decide. The room that I'm putting it in has white lace curtains. And I was thinking, you know, if I painted this gold, that would look good with the white lace curtains and the bedspreads that has more Egyptian art with the oranges and brown, that it would look good. But I also think that faux leather would look good too. And then I could move it all around from room to room if I wanted to. I really do like faux leather. And I think this would look really nice if I made that faux leather a little light, like the orange. Here on the lives before, I did make a faux leather, I believe. And so I probably would do that. But like I said, I made 2 or 3 smaller ones. So I'm going to play with the small ones. I'm going to paint one and I'll put faux leather on one. And then I'll be able to decide which way I want to go on this bigger one. And I'm still debating if I'm going to put one of the small one in the giveaway package that will go to the winner of our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which is funny. I been looking at my numbers on YouTube, and it goes up and down from a from 1,000 to 992. It hasn't been staying at the 1,000, so I don't know if that's YouTube playing with that or people are unsubscribing. I don't know. But I've been at 1,000 one time. It was 1,003 or 4, and now when I look, it's underneath that. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm gonna go ahead and prepare as if by the time we get to the giveaway, the number will have firmed up and stayed at 1,000. Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. I like making that faux leather. So I want to put a lot here in these spots where the edges meet, because I want them to be sure to be smooth. And I'm going to go ahead and go down the, getting on things in the craft room, around their body, and then come back and make sure the edges lay down. Yeah, I don't know what YouTube does with that. It's crazy. But it does affect you a little bit because, you know, they're trying to be monetized and all that is tied to that 1,000 subscribers. So I hope it's not YouTube doing that, because been years and years of me trying with YouTube and they keep moving the benchmark. And then I finally reached that high 1,000, and for it to not stick is frustrating. So this is a process that takes a little bit, but it is so worth it in the end. And as a therapeutic process, it's really cool. I'm chatting a little bit while I'm on this live, but if I wasn't, I'd just be sitting here, laying down the pieces and smoothing them out. So for a second here, I am going to be quiet and just go for it, because this is my therapy this morning. making sure when I see the longer pieces that I put those, wrap those around the edges. And I'm going to make sure that the next ones I rip are longer. You see how therapeutic that can be? Just a smooth process, mindless. This layer I'm not being too careful about the pattern that I'm laying it in, because I'll probably do a second layer and then I'll be really mindful. As long as I overlap on this one, I get a base, a nice base. So I'll be sure to leave the link to my Facebook on this live too, so that people won't have a hard time finding it. I hope I didn't scare people away doing my Bible reading this morning, but for me, it's okay. If that scares them away, that's okay, because it is a part of me, and I do use it as my mental health therapy, my spiritual therapy. And if people are offended by it, maybe this isn't the spot for them. It reminds you of making, yes. I was that girl that loved to make mud pies and cakes. I grew up in the country, and so playing outside in the dirt and mud, that was fun, everyday play. It's actually going pretty smooth. I'm going to rip up a few more of those bigger pieces. Just a second here. definitely want to make sure I get the mixture on the ones that are going wrapped around. Oh, that's nice. At this Saturday self-care, doing skin is a very nice self-care thing to be doing. Self-care is so important. There would be a little cleanup process in here that's required. I would have been thinking I could have did this on the floor, but I was really thinking about the live, trying to make sure that I could film it. And a lot of times I go for the easy, just film on top of the desk. That's right, Cheryl. That's right. And that's what's important, is to make sure that I do my part. I try not to get too preachy. If a word comes, like that scripture came to me this morning, I don't mind sharing it, as they're generally, when a scripture comes out like that, it's a word that we all should hear and take prudence in. So reading it and letting everybody hear the word and pray about it themselves, that's my small part. Okay, it's getting about time to rip up more strips. It's actually, what? I tell you, this clock on this thing always seems to go faster to me than real life. To say that I've been doing this for 54 minutes, it definitely does not feel like it. And I try to keep these videos not too long. But that sure didn't feel like 50 some minutes. So I'm just going to carry on for a little while longer. I just want to get one layer on and then I'll move on. I do know this is going to be a longer live because I don't want to end without at least getting the first layer on here. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. But boy, that really flew. It has been very relaxing. Okay. I'm gonna rip these next ones a little bit longer. And that'll help the process of the wrapping around the edges. I guess that clock, the time is right. The clock on the wall is kind of saying the same thing. So I guess I just really was into it. I mean, what could be more fun than putting your hands in this moisture? I'm going to add a little bit of water. And then putting it on something and making creation. Ooh, 4 hours. Oh, okay. 4 hours of talking about the Heavenly Father. I probably can handle that. Yeah, I hear you. Wow. 4 hours is really doing it. So let's see. I'm going to wrap these around. Nice, nice, nice. Nice and long. Makes a nice edge. The messier, the more fun, right? Let's put these over here a little bit. I like these long pieces being able to wrap around. That's crazy, 4 hours. It's great to hear that people were able to hang with, speaking of spiritual things, that long. That says a lot. And it's always good to hear that our family is getting the word in. Okay, oh, I might have left that in there a little too long. Don't want to rip it up. That little orange piece of paper just keeps coming back. It wants to be a part of this unk. Starting to, where I see it drying is drying nice. Try to rush these other pieces on. As I'm doing it, I'm thinking of effective ways to lay it out. Like I feel like if I lay across here the ends first and then go a layer top, that would be a better process to catch these edges around the outside here. Learning as I go. I said it's been quite a while since I've done any paper mache. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it is going pretty smoothly. And, you know, as a therapy, it's not about the time, it's the process. And that's what I'm really getting into, is the process. Getting a little messy, but that's okay. Because bath therapy is also a good therapy. I love a good bath. You barely see the bowl on the camera anymore from all the paper I have around. But I hope you can see how smooth that's going on and how nice that's gonna look. Yeah, it'll hold without the glue. I just added just a little bit because I thought I was making it too soupy, but as you can see, it thickened up quite a bit. And when you see the finished dry product, you'll love the way it looks. It won't look like a piece of cardboard anymore. Around the edges, I want to be careful how I'm lapping and smoothing. That lapping is real important around your edges so that it dries smooth. Kind of one seam. Some of these are doubled over, so they're thick. I do, if I can get them apart, I do want to take them apart because I'm looking for evenness, but if I can't, when I do my second coat, I'll just skip that area. Hey Jasmine, how are you? Look what we're playing with today as art therapy. We found the Ankh. And we are doing paper mache. Look like we have our first layer just about done. Go around these edges. Make sure that they're all on there. And smoothed around. I gotta do the edges out here. I'm doing that careful layering on that edge. Bring it all the way back and smoothing. Those edges are where I really want to be sure to get them smooth. And as they dry, I'm going to actually mold them. Okay. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. And a little bit more on that edge over there. said we were thinking about doing a Zoom one time. That would be nice. I could learn how to record the Zoom so I could upload it to my YouTube. Would be great. That sounds like fun. Maybe we could start out here and then set up a Zoom and all meet up over there. That would be cool. Okay. Dear hearts, this has definitely been therapeutic for Miss D. I'm feeling so relaxed. Hope you enjoyed watching the process. Smoothing my edges now, adding extra to make sure I get around there good. And that's one layer on, dear hearts. I'm going to take my brush and brush over it. I got this little bit in the glue that I think I'm going to put onto those little hunks that I told you I made so as not to waste. Gotta see where I buried them. There they are. Way back there. And just put that extra on them. And do some molding of the one that we just did. Okay. If you hear a crash, that's probably that hook I just halfway put in there. So I made several of these little ones. Like I said, I may put one in the package for the giveaway winner. A handmade Unk by Miss D. Oh, as soon as I picked that up, I started seeing a creation. So, yeah, this is going to be fun, the little ones. The designing of them. Yeah, and should end up soft after this. It's been fun. Aw, that's sweet. Thank you. It's been a great crafting more afternoon. I'm feeling refreshed and ready, warmed up. Therapeutic art has been good to me today. It's a much quicker process with these little ones. Hey, Michael, how are you? It's good to see you. We're finishing up an old project, the unk that I started some months ago. Just we're paper macheing it, getting it prepped for painting or the leather, whichever way we decide to go with it. I'm doing some creative paper mache right now. I have so much on the table, I don't know if you can see what I have in my hand. But it's one of the little unks. Let's do this. Let's get this piece on, and then I'll clear the desk just a little bit. Oh, hey, Michael. It's good to see you. Thank you. I don't know about the looking great part. We probably got paper mache glue all over us because I've been hands-on and enjoying it. This one looks like it'll be great for that faux leather look with the way I'm wrapping the paper around. Is giving it a already textured look. Okay. Yeah, this unk will go on my wall in my bedroom. I had redone the bedroom in Egyptian look. And so an unk is African from by nature. And I'm just going to create a little wall art with it. I did get this thick in some spaces. I'm just going to set this to the side to dry. Yeah, that's really thick in some spaces. You know, I feel like doing the back. Funny how you go from not touching a piece till you can't put it down. I am. Just because I'm here. Now, I understand that you may need to leave. But I'm just going to finish this up and then let it all dry together. Thanks, sure. Yeah, that side, it did come out really well. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side really fast so it can all dry together. Then I'll be ready for the next step. The sun has decided to come out over here. It's starting to look like a beautiful afternoon. See what a little art therapy will do for you? Even the environmental change for you. Oh, cool. Yeah, that first process was a little more tedious than this second round will be. Because we have a base now. And it's all about get it on here and smooth my shape it the way I want it. Look what I found. Quote good for 1 full year. I think, I bought some things from For Patriot survival stuff. And I think that piece of the receipt ended up in there. I'll put it on here. .45 and sunny in Florida. All right. Oh, 95. Sorry about that. 95 might be a little warm. Okay, I'm going to cut some of these strips down now as I got that wraparound already gone. My glue is thick, so I'm going to add a little more water. Never going back. Oh, yeah, I think a hurricane might slow me down too. You have family that lives in Florida. It's a nice place to visit. But I grew up northeast, up in Jersey, and the weather is much milder than Hurricane City, so I think I'd stick with that too. But I gotta say, love Washington State. Real mild weather. Mm-hmm. Connecticut is a beautiful place, though. I gotta say that I had some friends, or have some friends, that live there, and Connecticut and Vermont, I think, are really beautiful states, beautiful places. It's something about the greens that grow there. Texas sounds like fun. Everything's big in Texas, big fun. Good old barbecue, yeah. That actually sounds good right about now. Miss D hasn't eaten yet. Get this layer on and eat. Does it get really hot? Does it get hotter than you can ride your bike up. Does it get hotter in Texas than it does in Florida? Florida gets hot. I remember traveling to Florida in the summertime, Florida and Georgia. Woo! Boy, that was hot. Yes, hotter than Florida. Ooh, okay. That's a wintertime state to visit then for me. All that heat gets to be a bit much. Just pinching it tight. You can mold while it's wet. It's looking good. We have no winter. Oh, Lord. Oh, so it's hot all year round. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know, though. Texas has always been an interesting place to, for me to just think about going to visit, just to go check it out. cowgirl boots, barbecue it. Hey, that's what I'm trying to say. I need me a cowgirl hat and me some boots. Yeah, I could dress for Texas. Have a good old time. Little cowgirl skirt, cowgirl boots, hat, ready. Yeah, the backside's getting there. That talking and crafting is very easy to just keep moving and not overdo details. Rodeos. A good old rodeo sounds fun. Square dance. Can I square dance? All my dancing is square. I love to look at square dancing. I think it is so cool looking. I could do a little line dancing. Roadside barbecue. Interesting. Look at here. Looking good. Feeling good. My edges feel good. Another piece of that for Patriots. Just going back through the chats. That Michael, always trying to make a girl feel good. Oh, I will. Because I have just come to the place where I can rest on this. And I will. And I hope you guys are creating vision boards for the giveaway. That will be September 24th. If we can keep our numbers holding up. I was telling Cheryl about every time I look at YouTube, my numbers change. I'm under 1,000 again. Oh, there you go, Michael. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what you come up with. I'm going to show you mine in 2 seconds here. I just want to catch this one spot. There's some spots it got a little thick. I want to stand this up and let it dry. Put this paper down to stand it on. Probably need to put a little wax so it doesn't stick. Ooh, looks like we need some more parchment paper. I'm going to stand that up and let it dry right here. Lean it against here. Oh, nice. It looks good, you guys. Wonder if that's too much weight, though, for it to stand. Let's see if we do this. Feel like I want to brace it. I think I'm going to lay it flat. Excuse me a second. I'm still in the room. I just want to lay this flat so I have all possible chances to keep it straight and flat. That looks like that's the ticket. Okay. That looks good, you guys. Okay. And she's back. Got a good mess all over me, but that's okay. That felt really good and therapeutic for sure. I'm going to show you my vision board. And we're going to wrap this one up. I'll continue to play with these little ones off camera. I was making a good old mess in here, making my own tools. I'm not going to wash up all the way because I'm going to continue to play. Right. I do know that, but do you know, because I learned that so late in life about the tabs on the parchment paper, till I still don't do it, because I grew up and didn't know those tabs were there till late in life. And now, just out of habit, don't use them. Aww. Hi, Libby. Yeah. Oh, sorry you got here. You just missed the unk. We were paper macheing the unk that I'm gonna either paint or faux leather for my wall. You'll have to catch the beginning of the video. We spent quite a bit of time doing that. I'm getting ready to show the dear hearts my vision board. No, I'm not entering the contest myself. I can't. But I did want to do a vision board with everybody, as I do use vision boards quite often, love them. And so I did a simple one that I just wanted to show the dear hearts and remind everybody to work on theirs and to post them on my my Facebook page. I left a usual address on last week's live, and I'll leave one on this week's live. But if can't find me like that, if you do Miss D, Do It Yourself DTV on Facebook, you'll find me. That's Miss D, Do It Yourself DTV on Facebook, and you'll find me. And just upload a picture of your vision board, and that'll be your entry into the giveaway for the 1,000 subscriber. That I hope we still have 1,000 by the time we get to then. The number's been going up and down. It's the craziest thing. Libby, I know you have a YouTube page. Have you ever noticed that your numbers go up and down? Does YouTube do that, or what's going on with that? One minute I have 1,000, next minute I don't. Oh, Cheryl, thank you. Thumbing up the live. All right. Here's my vision board. I don't know if I can get it too up close now that I got the desk a mess. But here's Miss D's vision board. Nice and simple, but really reflective of what I intend and what I envision having really soon. Of course, it has my blues in it. It has blue and orange are my favorite colors, but mine has more spiritual feel to it. As I was telling Cheryl earlier this afternoon, a lot of my affirmations are spiritual. It's like I keep my eyes on God. I depend on the Most High only. I am a willing vessel. Fear is not from God. So my affirmations are very spiritual and connected to my soul and my roots. The things on the board are things that I'm trying to attract to me. Of course, anywhere I land, I want a beautiful, what do you call it? Scenery, not scenery. Boy, I got too much glue going on. I can't remember. Anyway, view out my windows or around me. I would like it to be water and mountains, as those things are really spiritually rooted in me. They make me feel that my RV, it doesn't have to be exactly this one, but similar to this one. I was telling Cheryl, got some decisions to make on the job, and it may mean that I don't have the job anymore. And so I said, if I bought an RV, I could live in my RV and do some traveling. So I definitely see that as something that I want to attract to me. And then when I get my land, and I'm attracting 5 to 10 acres of land, I want to make a homestead compound where I build a tiny house, or a small house. Let's not say tiny. I like a little more space than tiny. So a small cabin, and then build smaller cabins around for my children, should they and their family want to live in the same area. Have some crops growing. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's a nice little garden. Miss D would try her hand at that. And then just really dreaming. Miss D loves a Mustang. Just call me Mustang Sally. So I threw the Mustang on there. Probably not a must-have for a compound, but I could see me with my cowboy boots on, y'all, riding around with a convertible Mustang. That would be Miss D doing it large, okay? So that's what my vision board is looking like. I can't wait to see what yours is looking like. Oh, I hear that, Livy. A shed for your crafting would be cool. My sister and my brother-in-law, they have a YouTube channel here called The Shed, and they actually turned the shed into his YouTube space. He works on bikes. So check out The Shed here on YouTube, and you'll see my sister and my brother-in-law YouTube channel. But yeah, they turned the shed. First it was his man cave, and his man cave turned into their video studio as he started working on bikes and sharing videos about that. Yeah, so a shed would be a great craft room. Yes. A trailer behind for a craft room. Yeah. That would be a real vision come true, to end up with an RV and that 10 acres of land. Miss D is truly shooting for that. Those are my intentions with my goals. All right, dear hearts, it has definitely been a great time with you here today. Thanks, Livy. Yeah, if you're into bicycles, you'll enjoy The Shed. My brother-in-law is quite knowledgeable, and every now and then we see my sister Tracy in there working on bikes. He's getting Tracy in the swing of things. But as I was said, I'm almost 2 hours in here today. I'm getting ready to wind down. I'm gonna finish up these teeny unks and clean up and have a little lunch. It's been a blast. Thank you. It's so good to see you all. For those I hadn't seen in a while, welcome back, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, dear hearts, let art be your therapy. Whether you do paper crafts, metal crafts, sculpting, molding, painting, whatever you do, take time to do your art and let your creative juices flow. It is one of the best forms of mental therapy. Until then, you all be blessed. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.